Alrighty, Tiger fans, I'm going to give you 3 players to keep an eye on for tonight in our game against Collingwood at Icon Park. And it's only a practice match, but 3 players that I think we should keep an eye on. The first player is Tom Brown. Now, he didn't play against West Coast, and it was a little bit unknown as to why he didn't play. He'd obviously had the no contact cap on for little bits of the preseason training, but the last month or so, he hasn't had that on. And he seems to have been doing full match sim and full training. So maybe it was more of a conditioning thing to get him up to speed. But the one thing that's been a bit of a standout for Tom Brown from the training onlookers that have seen the boys running around is his work in the repeat sprint category. He seems to be outrunning and out-sprinting a lot of players now. So it's obviously something he's worked quite a lot on over the preseason. We know he's got a great kick. He can take a mark. He's a pretty nice size as well. So I'm kind of really looking for Tom Brown to start to elevate his game to another level. I'm not saying he's going to get 35 touches and kick a few goals off the half-back line or anything crazy like that. But you just want to see him, again, feel comfortable being out there, asserting his dominance with his speed off the half-back line. And maybe he's going to be one of those players that helps fill the void of Daniel Rioli gone. So Tom Brown, keep an eye out for him and let's see how he goes. What will be interesting is if he does stay at half-back or if we do shift him up the ground a bit as well. But look, on paper, I do like seeing Short and Tom Brown on opposite half-back flanks because both have penetrating kicks and will provide pretty good drive. Maybe a good way to clear some zones or opposition setups in the middle of the ground, possibly. But yeah, both have got very good weapons. So yeah, hopefully we utilize them to the best of our ability. The second player I want to keep an eye out for, well, the next 2 I think are probably self-explanatory no-brainers, but we'll go with Harry Armstrong first. Again, he was one who was meant to play the West Coast game, but was a bit crook and couldn't jump on the flight, which was a real shame. I'm super, super glad he's gotten a chance against Collingwood. And maybe it's largely because Tom Lynch hasn't been selected for this game. Like I said on a previous video, I'd love to know what the premeditated plan was for Harry, whether he was meant to play both, meant to play just one. But either way, we're going to see him against the Pies. And I actually think this is going to be a better environment to see him in rather than the West Coast game. And the reason I say that is the West Coast game, we obviously had a super inexperienced side. And because of that, there was just a real lack of cohesion on all parts of the ground. And we had quite a few big forwards up there, and it kind of felt like that they were getting in each other's way a little bit as well. And plus, we weren't getting the ball down there a hell of a lot, just through lack of polish, through lack of cohesion across all lines, really. So to bring him in a more experienced lineup in a full 4-quarter game, I think is going to be a much better outcome for him and for us. But they've got him starting on the bench, but it's going to be really interesting to see how Harry goes. From all reports, he still is knocking on the door for an early season debut. So hopefully he can put his best foot forward in the game tonight against the Magpies. You'd love to see him kick a couple of goals, but there's zero pressure on him to do that. You just want to see him compete hard, attack the contest. And if we see some nice grabs and a couple of goals, that'll be a big bonus. So Harry Armstrong, we wish you all the best of luck. And the final one we should keep an eye out for is Luke Traynor. So Luke Traynor, who we drafted with a pick, it was pick 18 or something around that mark. It's common knowledge he was obviously very, very highly touted as one of, if not the best intercept defend marker in the draft year. And we know now that he slid down that far because of some perceived concussion issues. Now, I'm going to say perceived because the longer this goes on, the more I kind of feel like that maybe some of this played out and was overblown a little bit in the media, which spooked a few teams. But you have to back the club that they've done their full assessment and due diligence to make sure that he will be all okay. But he's been one that's had to be held back at training, according to Nathan Broad on one of the club's podcasts and Ben Serpil as well. So he is a bull at a gate, keen to learn. He's got exceptional skill and he's got good pace as well for a guy of his size too. So I actually don't know. I don't know if he's going to fit into our backline initially, just because of the blend of experience and youth we've already got in there. I actually think he could play a role on a wing, which he did do a little bit in the under-18s. He played forward a little bit as well, but he is super versatile. He can play across all 3 lines. And like I said, he's very mobile for his size, reads the ball well, and he's a very, very good kick of the ball. So I'm looking for Traynor to play in multiple positions tonight. I don't think we'll see him exclusively in one part of the ground. But I know I've said this before, and maybe it's a bit of a reach, but he could quite possibly end up being one of the best 2 or 3 of the draft, such as his potential. And yeah, very, very excited to see him play. So There you go. There's the 3 to watch. Tom Brown, Harry Armstrong, and Luke Traynor. Let me know what you think, guys. Are there any other players that you're looking forward to seeing? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe for more Richmond content. And I'll see you for the next one. Go Tigers.